I would like to thank everybody for pulling up to this demonstration. Shannon is lying. But before we get started with this demonstration, salute to the replay gang, salute to my moderators, salute to the chat. Let me bring my Facebook family and friends over to this demonstration. Hope everybody is doing well. Give me 1 second, everybody, and we're going to jump into this. And if I could get everybody to subscribe, let me see if I can get it. Let me come out of this. I'm coming, y'all. There we go. I see y'all down there in the chat. Yes. So, Shannon is lying. Now, what we're going to do in this demonstration, we're going to be backtracking pretty much everything. Salute Ming Ling. Can I get everybody? Ming Lee. I'm sorry. Can I get everybody to give my new subby, Ming Lee? Can everybody welcome Ming Lee? Give her a warm welcome. And anybody else that's new to the platform, let us know so we can give y'all a warm welcome. We're going to backtrack it, y'all. We're going to backtrack. We're going to backtrack and add Jarvis. I want to backtrack it all. Shannon is definitely lying. I think Noel is a new subby as well. Can I get everybody to give Noel a warm welcome? I see you, Foxy Roxy. And make sure we subscribe to Foxy to Roxy 3. She is a content creator and she is doing a wonderful job. And not only can I get y'all to subscribe to Foxy Roxy, we got another new subby that's a content creator. Can I get everybody to give Queen Eme a warm welcome? And I'm going to drop Queen Eme link in the chat. And if I could get everybody to subscribe to Queen Eme channel as well. I'm coming. As well as Leezy. Leezy is a content creator as well. So let us subscribe to Foxy. Let us subscribe to Queen Eme. And let us subscribe to Leezy. Coming, y'all. I think I got all the content creators that's down there. And if you're a content creator and you want me to shout your channel out, just let me know. Let's see, I think I got a new subby. Salute Rolanda. Salute Rolanda. Everybody give Rolanda a warm welcome as well. Give my new subbies a warm welcome and my content creators. All right, y'all.
And do you recall the numbers that you would text Jarvis from?
Yes.
Okay. And does a 586-510-5161 sound familiar?
Yes.
And what number is that?
That used to be my old number.
And is that number that you would text Jarvis from?
Yes.
And what about a 586-842-4504?
That was the number before this number.
Before the 510 number?
Correct.
Okay, and is that a number you would also text Jarvis from?
Correct.
And what number did you have for Jarvis?
The 313-585-8719.
And did you have any numbers for Naziah?
It was a funny looking area code. The area code was a 231.
Okay. I want to show you some messages from People's Exhibit 16 and ask you some questions about them, okay?
Okay.
Brandon, may I approach?
Yes.
We want to know, where is Naziah hers? Let's go there. We want to know, where is Naziah hers? Make sure y'all subscribe to Street T as well. Street T is a content creator. Make sure we subscribe to Street T. Salute Valerie. Make sure everybody give Valerie a warm welcome. I don't believe I've seen Valerie. I believe Valerie is a new subby over here. So make sure we subscribe to these content creators. Street T is a content creator. We want to know, plain and simple, we want to know, where is Naziah hers? Shannon, you know exactly what happened to Naziah, and you know exactly where Naziah hers is. So don't act like you don't know. Don't try to lie like you don't know. Give Cindy a warm welcome also. Give Cindy a warm welcome. If y'all see me put the name, if y'all see me put them up there, then y'all know that they're new. So make sure y'all are giving these new subbies a warm welcome. All right. Glad to have you, Cindy. But let's cut to the chase and let's stop the BS. All we want is for Naziah to get a proper burial. We cannot bring her back to life. All we want is for her to be laid to rest properly. Nothing more, nothing less. She do deserve to be laid to rest properly. Now, with Jarvis being a mechanic, Jarvis and King a mechanic, it's no telling where the body of Naziah was placed. It's no telling. And she could have been placed in a car. Just don't know. But what we do know is we want Naziah to get a proper burial. Appreciate that, Arius One. Appreciate that, Arius One. I see the comment. How is Shannon lying? And who is she protecting? Well, first of all, she's protecting herself. She's definitely protecting herself. Secondly, she lied on the witness stand. She has been caught lying on the witness stand several times. And that's what we're going to go over in this demonstration. So you're going to just have to hang around. You're going to have to hang around. But everybody knows Shannon is lying. Even Shannon's family know that she's lying. Roxy knows she's lying. Kenya knows she's lying. Janelle, Kiwana, Vari, Lady, Marquita, Miss Annette, they all know Shannon is lying. Now, we can chop it up as far as Miss Annette or Shannon being the ringleader. Some people has pointed out that the text messages wasn't sent from Shannon. Some people say the text messages were sent from Annette. Drop a one. Drop a one if you feel like the text messages was sent not from Naziah, but those text messages were sent from Annette. Drop a one. I see a one. I see a one. Many believe that it was Annette that sent them text messages. Yeah. Jaquetta is a content creator as well. Jaquetta is a content creator. Make sure y'all subscribe to Jaquetta. Arius one says, Shank Rock, thank you for sharing. Peace and blessings. Appreciate that super chat, Arius one. Appreciate that super chat. And if you would like to support the channel, there's different ways you can support the channel. You can purchase a super sticker or a membership or a super chat. Just click on the $sign symbol. Now, if you have a question for me to answer, if you have a comment for me to read, and as you can see, I can't get to all of the comments, purchase a super chat. I answer all super chats. All right, I answer all super chats. Also, if you purchase a membership, you'll have access to some of my demonstrations that I make for members only. All right. Or if you would just like to send a cash donation, my cash app is $ERICMCINT. Perk is another content creator. Let's subscribe to these content creators who I'm shouting out, because these content creators, they work hard. They work hard. And if you are an up and coming content creator and you need some help getting your channel started, just holler at me and I'll do what I can do to promote your channel. Everybody has a voice. Everybody has a voice. You might not like a content creator's platform. You might feel like, man, I don't like what that content creator does on a platform. Well, you are only one person out of a million. Help the platform, help that content creator grow their platform, because it might be somebody close to you that do like that content creator. And then later on, you might backtrack things and you might find out that you do like that content creator. All right. Appreciate the new membership. Appreciate the new membership, Jaquetta. Appreciate the new membership, Jaquetta.
I'm going to direct you to messages on or about June 27th of 2023. Do you recall those messages? Did you send any of those messages to Jarvis Butts?
No.
Okay. And do you know, I believe there's a phone number here that's highlighted. Whose phone number do you know that to be?
Jarvis Butts.
Okay. And you don't recall ever sending any of those messages?
No.
Okay.
Now, even though she claims that she didn't send any of those messages, but she did send some messages. She did send some messages. In my opinion, this is the defense strategy. This is how the defense is going to win their case in the Jarvis Butts trial, because the defense is going to prove that not only was Shannon sending these explicit text messages, the defense is going to prove that Shannon is actually behind Naziah's disappearance as well as her unaliving. Make sure we subscribe to The Message. The Message is a content creator as well. That's Shano down there. Make sure y'all subscribe to The Message. Appreciate that super chat, Drea. You are a real one. Appreciate that, Drea. Appreciate you. Now, let me read some of these comments, y'all. Let me read some of these comments. All right. Let me get to some comments. I see you, 504. I see you, Robert Lee. I see you, Antoinette, 504. I see y'all. Grace says, CPS still has the kids. I thought they were returned. No, for everybody that's wondering whether or not Shannon's kids are still in CPS, yeah, CPS still has, well, they're still in, you know, CPS. Let me just say that much. The question is, what was Shannon and Annette doing only picking up Shannon's kids and foster kids, but no Naziah? What happened January the 8th? And let's stay right there, Nene. Let's stay right there. Why didn't they pick up? Why didn't Annette pick up Naziah? Why was only the other kids picked up? And according to Shannon, Shannon never left out the house. She never left out the house. According to Shannon, she was the last one to see Naziah. This is one lie. For those that want to know, how did Shannon lie? This is one lie that we all caught Shannon in. Shannon said that she was the last one to see Naziah, right? How could she have been the last one to see Naziah if witnesses reported seeing King, Jarvis, and Naziah together, and also Jarvis and Naziah going into the hotel? So how could you have been the last one to see Naziah? So that's one lie that she's caught in. Appreciate you, Miss Minnie. Thank you for your hard work. We appreciate you. And I appreciate you all. Now, maybe Shannon wasn't lying. Maybe Shannon wasn't lying. But pay close attention to what she said. Shannon said she was the last one to see Naziah. So maybe she wasn't lying after all. Because as I said before, usually the last person to see the victim that was unalive, the last person that saw that victim, the last person that was with that victim, usually is the person that took their life. So maybe Shannon wasn't lying. Maybe Shannon was telling the truth when she said she was the last one to see Naziah. Let's keep that in the front of our minds. Let's hold on to that. All right, we're going to definitely hold on to that.
And now I want to direct you to messages from June 28th of 2023. How about any of these? Did you send any of these to Jarvis Butts?
No.
Now, I do feel like Shannon, instead of Miss Annette, I feel like it was Shannon that was sending the majority of those text messages, because once Shannon found out about Jarvis and Naziah's sexual relations, once she found out, she automatically knew, well, I'm gonna keep it going, but I'm gonna be sending Jarvis these text messages, because remember, she asked Jarvis. Now this is coming out of Shannon's mouth. She asked Jarvis about those text messages. She said that Jarvis said that those are the kids, them children, them kids texting each other, them kids text messaging like that. And Shannon said, no, the kids don't text like that. So Shannon definitely was behind a lot of those explicit and those text messages. Even the ones, because some of the text messages she do take responsibility in, but those are the text messages as far as him needing the girls to come up there to help out. But as far as the explicit text messages, she don't take responsibility for them. But for me, I know for a fact, and I put some money on it, that text message that Naziah sent about how do you like your girls, skinny, that was Shannon. You can't tell me. I can put some money there. I put my last little bit of money down on that text message. That text message definitely coming from Shannon. But some of y'all believe that it's Annette. Some of y'all believe it was Annette.
What about any messages from July 2nd of 2023? Did you send any of those messages?
No.
And see, mark my word, everybody. This is how this defense, and that's why I'll ask the question again. Do y'all think that Shannon and Miss Annette is working for the defense? Do y'all think that? Because in my opinion, this is how the defense is going to eat Shannon alive. They're going to eat Miss Annette alive about Miss Annette waiting until the next morning. That's what they're going to zoom in on Miss Annette and other things that she said on the stand. But they're going to definitely hem Miss Annette up at that trial, at Jarvis' trial, if it's even a trial. If it's even a trial. Because they're going to want to know, why would anyone wait until the next day to report a missing 13-year-old? Let alone, why would Big Mama, of all people, why would Big Mama wait until the next day to report her granddaughter? But when it comes to Shannon, they're going to eat Shannon up when it comes to the when it comes to those text messages, because Jarvis has receipts. Jarvis has receipts that it was actually Shannon sending some of those text messages. And I'm going to tell you the receipts. Now, I don't know if they'll be able to prove it, but Naziah told Jarvis plenty of times, because I know Jarvis asked Naziah about those questions. I mean, Jarvis asked Naziah about them text messages that he wasn't sure of. And Naziah told him, that wasn't me. That was Shannon. I was asleep.
What about messages from August 26th, 2023? Did you send any of those to Jarvis Butts?
I'm sorry, was the 26th?
August 26th.
No, these aren't my messages.
Did Jarvis Butts ever tell you that Naziah texted him to meet up on January 9th, 2024?
No.
Did you tell Jarvis Butts about
There, I sent him a message asking him has he seen Tilda box, and he said no Tilda, and he responded back. Last part, I texted him. Well, first I called him. He didn't answer. The second time I sent him a message, still no Tilda. He replied back, "Oh wow."
Okay, thank you.
Okay. And Aaron, may I approach?
Yes.
Let me jump to the chat. Let me see what my chat's saying. Appreciate that compliment, Diane. Appreciate that compliment, Diane. Let me see what my chat's saying. Exactly. The family is full of demons, and they had a concentration of demons surrounding them. Anna made not to make sense. Did anyone ever do DNA tests on Shannon's new baby? I'm trying to catch up. I miss a lot when I go for my treatments. I don't think a DNA test was done. I believe that too. And made not to make sense. We got 348 watching with only 135 likes. Make sure y'all hit my like button. Help get my likes up. Salute, Kenya. He didn't tell her, but Naziah asked her about the address, so she knew. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Shannon definitely knew. Why would she tell her if she already knew? Queen May, I feel like they all knew they was going to get caught. I believe that they all knew myself, Ime. Pay attention to the color highlighted paperwork. All right. Let's pay attention to the highlighted paperwork. We are in the end times, no doubt. If law enforcement is involved, how do we know what is actual paperwork from Naziah? And that's a good point, Nene. And I do believe that law enforcement are definitely involved. I definitely believe law enforcement are involved. Nope. Throw some hot dogs, Shank. I sure will. Salute, Betty. Look at Judge's face. That tells it all about Shannon. Trial going to be very interesting and meaningful. justice for Naziah. And can I get everybody to throw up some purple hearts? Let me get everybody to throw up some purple hearts for Naziah Harris. And make sure y'all hashtag justice for Naziah Harris. Salute, I'm his wife. Salute. There go positive vibes with them tacos. You know we don't throw up no tacos over here, positive vibes. We do hot dogs. Her explanation of why Naziah was asking about that address made no damn sense. Facts. And do you really think, in my opinion, I could be wrong, do you really think Naziah didn't know where the streets were? That's just my opinion. I see Shano with the Samuel L. Jackson jokes. All right, Samuel L. Jackson joke. Shano, I got you. They are covering up for CPS. For the CPS fail. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Will they have the same judge? To my knowledge, they will still have the same judge. To my knowledge, they will still have that same judge. I like Bucky, baby. That judge pays close attention to body language. Yes, yes.
And just for record references, I'm showing her what's going to be proposed, People's Exhibit 48. Ms. Harris, those text messages that you just referenced, do you see those on this page?
Yes.
Okay. And so it's fair to say you stated to Mr. Butts, well, first of all, whose phone number is this at the top?
The phone number is my old telephone number.
Okay. And who is the phone number below that?
Jarvis Butts.
Okay. And is this, I guess, do these fairly and accurately represent these two messages? 3, 4, 5, 6 messages sent between you and Mr. Butts on January 9th, 2024 through January 11th, 2024.
The first page is, yes, it's correct. Second page is correct. Yes.
Okay. And so on January 9th, like you had indicated before, you had stated that you told him that there was still no tuna.
Correct.
Okay. And you said he responded, oh, wow.
Correct.
Okay. And on January 11th, was Naziah still missing?
Yes.
Okay. And did you ask Mr. Butts to do something?
At this point, I just acted that if she's going to read from the text message, just admit the exhibit.
I can.
Issue with moving to admit.
No, Judge.
Okay.
These fairly and accurately represent text messages between you and your phone to Jarvis and his phone between, well, they start back earlier. Some from December 3rd, 2023 through January 21st of 2024. These fairly and accurately represent text messages between
Yes.
you and your phone to Mr. Butts and his phone?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, I move for the admission of People's Proposed Exhibit 48. Objection.
Okay, they'll be admitted.
Thank you, Judge. So on January 11th, did you ask Mr. Butts to do something?
Yes.
And what is it that you asked him to do?
I asked him, can he share the missing flyer on his Facebook page?
Okay. And did you send him a copy of that missing flyer?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to switch. We're going to come back to Shannon. I'm going to switch to somebody else's testimony, all right? Give me a minute while I switch testimonies.
No.
No, yes or no? I did not know.
Now, let's talk. Most recent time before January. Jarvis Butts, the defendant in this matter.
All right, let's switch. Let's switch, y'all. I want to backtrack her testimony.
So reflected.
And you said Mr. Butts came out how many times with Cordell?
At least two. So this last time in January and the time before that.
Okay, and the time before that, who was anyone else with the two of them?
No.
And what were they doing the time before January 9th?
Working on the car. I can't remember. It was a couple of things they had to fix on it. And they came out and did it in the driveway. And
Sorry.
I was just gonna say the last time when we got the car towed to the shop and they drove it back up.
Okay. And so in between the most recent time before January 9th, the Jaguar, correct me if I'm wrong, was towed to Detroit?
Correct.
Okay. And then on January 9th, did you see that red Jaguar again?
Yeah.
Okay. Who brought that Jaguar out to Ipswich?
Cordell and Jarvis.
Okay. And was anyone else with Cordell and Jarvis?
Yes.
Who is that person?
Naziah.
And I want to clarify, at the time on the 9th, when Cordell, Jarvis, and Naziah came, did you know that that was Naziah Harris?
No,
Do you know that now?
I do know now.
Okay. And is that based on information you learned or seen in the news and things like that?
Well, it was based on when the detectives came to the house to question us. That's when I found out who she was.
But at the time on the 9th, you didn't know?
Mm-mm.
Is that a no?
No, yes or no, I did not know.
Now, let's talk about when.
No, this is not Jarvis' sister. This is not Jarvis' sister. I believe this is one of King's children's aunt. I believe that this is one of King's children's aunt.
When they came out on the 9th, January 2024.
The Jaguar that was being fixed, is her mother's Jaguar. All right. Now, one thing that stuck out to me with her testimony was the time. Did y'all peep the time that she gave? She actually said that I believe that it was still light outside. If I can remember. She did say that when they were there, it was light. I'll be sure to let Miss Parker know. That they found young London's body. Appreciate that, Marty.
What was that interaction? How long did it last? Can you kind of take me through start to finish their visit and delivering the car?
So they came, they delivered the car. They were talking to my mom about what was wrong, gave her the invoice. It was just like a regular day when they came in, they sat on the couch for a few minutes. Naziah was sitting in the chair by the TV. We spoke, very brief. Asked her if she wanted something to drink. She didn't. My 6-year-old son ran up to her, the dog. It was just very mellow. They sat there, we talked about the car and stuff. We talked about my nephew. Cordell was trying to wait till my nephew got out of school, but because he was on tether, they had to leave, so they didn't get to stay long enough for my nephew to come.
And your nephew would be Cordell's son?
Cordell's son, yeah, correct.
Did you talk to Mr. Butts about Naziah? Did he introduce her or anything like that?
We just asked, hey, everybody spoke. He said this is his niece, and that was pretty much the basis of it. I cannot remember if he said her name or not, but he did introduce her as his niece.
And so, just to be clear, not sure about the name, but he said this is his niece about Naziah.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
That's a yes, I'm sorry.
Okay. And then after that conversation, well, let me ask you, during that time when they were there, did you notice anything that was unsettling or concerning about Naziah?
No.
It was just a normal interaction.
Yes.
After that interaction was over, did the three of them, Cordell, Jarvis, and Naziah, leave your house?
Yes.
Okay. And as far as you know, they were headed back to Detroit, right?
Correct.
When they left, whose car were they leaving in?
Cordell's truck.
And all three of them were in the same car?
Yes.
And you said that they were delivering the Jaguar to your mom or to your house, right?
Yes.
Did you see them pull up? Do you know what the driving and seating arrangements was?
I do not.
And I do believe the reason why, and I could be wrong, I do believe the reason why he asked about the seating arrangement was because King had mentioned the seating arrangement, I believe, but I could be wrong. Can someone help me understand how the grandma was able to have custody of any children with her family history? I mean, with her brother and the other monsters in that family. That's facts. That's facts. I'm still trying to figure that out myself. How was Miss Annette with a 40-year history, of CPS? How was Miss Annette able to have any children in her custody? How could it still be light outside if they took the Jaguar back at 6 to 7:30? And that's my point, Crooklyn, because according to King, we heard King's testimony. So Marty and everybody else that lives in Michigan, what time does it get dark in Michigan? January the 9th, January the 8th. In the early part of January, I know on the East Coast, and this is why I'm asking, on the East Coast, it gets dark between 4:30 and 5:30. Can y'all throw up some prayer hands for London? Can y'all throw up some prayer hands for London? For all we know, the witnesses are from Annette Church community. The old lady and the bus pass spotting exactly 2 weeks after she been missing. Good point, Nene. Good point. She must know someone in CPS. I believe so. I believe so. Granny was trying to get that income tax check benefits. Queen says she looked so scary. She looked so scared. Do y'all think she looked scared? Drop a 5. Drop a 5 if y'all agree with Queen Eme. Do y'all think she looked scared? Jaguar parts are not easy to get. Someone called them and said there is a wait time. Right. CPS don't care. All the kids need is a bed and food. You're absolutely right, Coco. You're absolutely right. I'm going to come back to the chat, y'all. But you're absolutely right, Coco.
I have nothing further to say.
Thanks, Russ.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So you're technically not related to Cordell, right?
Correct.
That's just the uncle. I'm sorry, he is the
The
father
father.
of your nephew. Okay. How would you say your relationship is with Mr. Wright?
It's cool. Like, no issues.
You got along with him well?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
And you know Cordell worked as a mechanic?
Correct.
Okay. And how long has he worked on your vehicles? Was this something new, or had he worked on your vehicles previously?
I think he might have changed the oil on one of my cars a couple years back, but not that frequently.
All right, let's go to Cordell. I'm going to come back. Let's go to Cordell.
Jarvis and his niece.
Tell me about the driving arrangements.
So I drove my 300 and Jarvis drove the Jaguar.
And where was his niece at?
She was with him in the front seat of the Jaguar.
Now, are you able to recall what his niece looked like that day?
Yes, faintly, but yes.
Do you remember what kind of clothing she was wearing?
I remember she had a jacket on. Like I said, a coat. It was cold, so I think it was colorful.
Colorful?
Yeah.
And may I approach?
Yes.
I'm going to straight up approach you with people's proposed exhibit 2. And I'm going to direct you to the top left corner. Can you tell me, is there anything that you recognize in that?
The jacket in China 1.
Okay. And is that a fair and accurate depiction of the jacket that you've seen his niece, Jarvis's niece, wearing that day?
Yes.
Okay. And I move for the admission of people's proposed exhibit 2.
Any objection? Okay. So it'll be admitted as people's exhibit 2.
Thank you. And I'm going to show you your man coach. And I'm showing you Smart Appeals Code at 3. Do you recognize what I just handed you?
Yes.
Thanks. And is that a fair and accurate depiction of Jarvis's niece as you remember seeing her back on January 9th, 2024?
Yes.
Okay. And is that the same niece that went with you to Ypsilanti?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And you're moved for the admission of people's proposed exhibit 3?
No objection. Okay, it'll be admitted as people's exhibit 3.
Thank you. So, you guys are driving to Ypsilanti. You said you're driving in your 300 and Jarvis is driving the Jaguar with his niece.
Yes.
Okay. About how long did it take you guys to get to Ypsilanti?
It was raining that day, so about 35 minutes.
And when you get to Ypsilanti, what do you do?
We get out, we park the car, get out, we go in. My son's grandma and I believe his auntie was there as well, so they greeted us. They'd spoken to him before, so they greet him. And then my son, grandma asked who the little girl was.
Okay. Did you introduce the little girl?
No,
Okay. Who introduced the little girl?
Jarvis did.
And what did Jarvis introduce her as?
His niece.
And about how long do you guys stay in Ypsilanti?
Not long, maybe 15 minutes or so. My son, auntie had to go get the rest of our money that my son, grandma didn't have, so she went to the ATM.
What do you guys do when you went to the ATM?
Talking.
Okay.
Talking. She was just telling us about other work she needed to do around her house, etc., so on and so forth.
And was Mr. Bucks with you the whole time?
Yes.
So you guys eventually leave Ypsilanti.
Yes.
And tell me about the driving arrangements coming or leaving Ypsilanti.
At this point, we only have one vehicle, which is mine. We get in, Travis in the front. I believe Naziah sat behind me.
Sat behind you?
Yes.
Okay. So, and is there any kind of talking or conversation when you guys are driving?
No, I got sounds in my car, so no.
And do you recall about what time you guys, I guess, where do you guys go when you leave Ypsilanti?
Back to 9,000 Connors.
Okay. And do you recall about what time you guys get back to 9,000 Connors?
Probably around 8:45. I was cutting it close on the tether.
So he got back 8:45, and it's did he say it's a 15-minute drive, or did he say it's a 30-minute drive? So when they got back, it definitely was dark. Just trying to match the okay, 35-minute drive. I'm just trying to match what King's son aunt said as far as the times and all of that.
What do you do when you get back to 9,000 Connors?
Opened up the shop door where he left. He left his truck in one of the bays, so we opened up that bay door, went through the gas station because that's the way we entered the shop. Went through the gas station, opened the shop, opened one of the bay doors. I went to the back and started splitting the money that we had made for the day, and separating the receipts, etc.
Where do you see his niece go?
Getting this truck,
Do you recall where at this truck she got into?
passengers,
Is the front passenger, back passenger, or something else?
front passenger.
And where's Mr. Buck at?
Back in the back with me, separate the cash.
And when you leave, do you lock up the shop?
No, I left first.
You left first. Okay. So when you leave, who's still at the shop?
Jarvis and his niece.
Do you see them leave the shop at all?
No.
All right, let's chop it up, y'all. Yeah, it was dark at 8 p.m., but the auntie said he was trying to wait for his son to get there from school. What time? What time? Could his son been in an after-school program? Marty says it's about 40 to 45 minutes. Lady had her phone. Lady saw her the day before. Lady got picked up to do a report on her being missing to Jarvis' phone pinging in the same hotel where lady resides, but no evidence of Naziah. And that's a good point. He should be nervous. He is an accomplice. Yeah, it was dark at 8 p.m., but the auntie said he was trying to wait for his son. Somebody lying, because didn't the sister come at about 4 and leave when it was dark too? Correct. That's why I'm trying to match it up. We know somebody's lying, along with Shannon. Shannon is the biggest liar, but there's some other folks that's lying too. There's some other folks that is lying with Shannon. I ain't care what nobody says. King knew Jarvis was messing with Naziah. Ain't no way he ain't see Jarvis look at Naziah in a sexual way, or see worse, she's around too often. I feel you, Tudor. I'm with you on that, Tudor. His energy is giving too many different signals. He's lying. He's agitated, and he's also has a smug attitude. Yep, you can see it. You can see it. You can see it on his face. Something sweet. Yeah, I agree. King definitely knew, but he didn't care. I honestly believe the 8th was her last day, and the 9th is them making up for the 8th. How many of y'all feel the same way? Drop a 6. Drop a 6 if y'all feel the same way that Nene feel. You could get a fiend to clean up the shop for a few dollars, but you got 2 little girls, ain't no way. Exactly. I see you, Shayna. Yeah, he did. Exactly. I'm going to skip some of these comments, y'all. So I see a lot of 6s down there. Look at his body language. Exactly. The defense never brung up this in their closing arguments. Either that's crazy because we caught the messed up timeline. Exactly. He's involved. Exactly.
you seen, or have you seen Jarvis's niece, the one that was with you on the 9th? Have you seen her since January 9th, 2024?
No.
Now let's talk about the day after that you guys went to Etsy, so January 10th. Do you recall if Mr. Bucks was at work that day?
I don't think he was.
What makes you think that he wasn't?
See, this is another thing with King that gets me about whether or not Jarvis was at work. Man, you knew whether or not he was there. I don't think so. I don't think he was there. You knew whether or not Jarvis was at work. Come on with the bullshit. Let me backtrack.
Was with you on the 9th. Have you seen her since January 9th, 2024?
No.
Now let's talk about the day after that you guys went to Etsy, so January 10th. Do you recall if Mr. Bucks was at work that day?
I don't think he was.
What makes you think that he wasn't?
I believe he called me like 3 times, 4 times. No reason for him to call me if he was standing right next to me.
No response.
Judge, I don't think he's speculating, so not putting police.
If he's saying that there's no, maybe call for a certain reason, does he know it's speculation?
He asked the question, re-asked the question.
Yes. So you said that you don't believe he was at work because he would call you, or he called you so often?
He called me. We had a 30-minute conversation on one account, and then we had another conversation for about 15 minutes. So
Okay. So that makes you believe in your mind that he was actually on the field?
What's the question first?
He's asking, based on those conversations, in his mind to him, that means that Mr. Bucks was not at the shop with him. I don't think that's leading.
It's stating the conclusion. He said he already stated that he wasn't at the shop, we didn't believe. So I'll overrule.
Thank you, Sharon.
one more time, I'm sorry.
Sorry. So based on the length of those phone calls and the types of them, did that make you believe that Mr. Bucks was not at the shop?
Right.
Did Jarvis Butts ever mention to you about his niece being missing?
No.
Have you talked to Mr. Butts aside from that alcohol that we played? Since turning himself in. And do you know someone, do you know any of Jarvis's siblings?
Yes.
And which sibling do you know?
I met his brother and I met his sister.
Okay. You talked to his sister. Well, start that. Do you remember would his sister ever come to the shop?
Sporadically.
Sporadically, okay. And are there times that you talk to her?
Yes.
Okay. And had you talked to her about Jarvis's niece being missing?
After the police questioned me, I believe she came up there and we spoke about it, yes.
And Mr. Wright, I asked you earlier about if you'd seen Mr. Butts in the courtroom, so that you couldn't see him.
Yes.
Nobody wants to admit to seeing Job. Job is right in front of everybody, but nobody wants to admit whether they see Job
People's proposed
in the
exhibit
courtroom.
9. Can you tell me if you recognize that photo?
Yes.
And who is it in that photo?
Jarvis.
Okay. Next, Jarvis Butts?
Yes.
Okay. Now for the admission of people's proposed exhibit 9.
Exhibit as people's exhibit 9.
Thank you.
If you would like to come up on a panel with me, if you was sexually assaulted as a child and you would like to come up on a panel with me and tell your story, click the blue StreamYard link. As an adult, if you was sexually assaulted and you would like to share your story with us, click on the blue StreamYard link and come up on the panel and share with us your story. All are welcome. Men, women, and children as well. All are welcome. Just click on the blue StreamYard link if you would like to come up and share your story with us.
And Mr. Wright, I want to direct your attention back to people's proposed exhibit 3. People's exhibit 3, I'm sorry. And if you see it from here where I'm holding it?
Yes.
Okay. And do you know who this person in this photo is now?
Yes.
Okay. And who do you know her as now?
Naziah.
Now everybody knows who Naziah is. If you want to come up and share your story with us, you do not have to show your face. Just turn your camera off. If you would like to tell your story, and if you don't want to show your face, just turn your camera off. All right?
Your house?
Yes.
Okay. And as far as you know, they're headed back to Detroit, right?
Correct.
Got to mute. All right. Appreciate with the questions. Maybe you're dumb, you know what, should have thought of your involvement beforehand. Doing dirty work doesn't last. Exactly. If you it'll be better if you come up on a panel, but I will allow y'all to call in, but it'll have to be a little later on. So if you want to call in, you could call in, but it'll be later on. So let me welcome Queen Ime up on the panel to share with us her story. Salute, Ime. Salute, Ime. Can't hear you.
Salute, can you hear me now?
I'm still trying to figure that out. You gotta log off the YouTube. Do you got this on your TV? Do you got this demonstration on your TV? Because it's an echo. The Jaguar back at 6 to 7. You got to close out your tablets. You got to close out your tabs. Marty and everybody else that lives in Michigan, you got to close out your tabs, and then I'll let you back up. All right? I'll let you back up once you close out your tabs. Salute, Ime.
Okay, did I clear the?
You good?
Okay. I didn't hear the question that you was asking because I was too busy trying to exit the tabs.
I was saying if you was sexually assaulted as a child, and if you wanted to tell your story, if you wanted to share your story, you could share your story with us, or if you were sexually assaulted as an adult. So if you was sexually assaulted and you would like to share your story with us, then you could feel free to share your story with us.
I mean, I was sexually assaulted as a child, as an adult, like, and I feel like as a kid, when you're a kid, I think it's different from an adult. I think it's the same thing, but as a kid, it's like it just you just never expected it, something so wild, so crazy to happen. You believe everything that person say, down to, oh, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do whatever the case might be. And it's just like I'm getting hot flashes over here right now thinking about it, because it's like it be your family, like it be your family, and people may sit here and say, oh, she tripping. Like, I'm really over here sweating now and thinking about it, because you know, we didn't ask to be here. We did not ask to be brought into this world. And it's like when you become a victim of sexual assault, or somebody touching you, or imagine you going to sleep one night and you waking up like, damn, how do my clothes keep ending up off of me? You know, and then you just tell yourself one night, I'm gonna sleep light, just to catch the person in your family do it, and then nobody believe you years later. It's like, you know, I'm pouring myself out, or people make, you know, family could be cruel too. I done had a family member inbox me and say, oh, that didn't happen, you a man, he would never do that. And you know, man, I'm trying to tell you, believe your children. It don't matter the circumstances. It don't matter how nasty and fucked up it is. Don't try to cover some shit up. Help that child. And that's all I got to say is the kids wise, because really this is something emotional. But people be so sick-minded. All they think about is, oh my God, come on now. There's a lot of people out here that'll give it up for free. Why do you have to touch a child? Don't know. And then adult wise, imagine you going to an interview thinking you about to get a job, and you know somebody come out and whip their stuff out on you and just like and just touch you. Oh, you like that, and you like that, and this and that and the third. Like, that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. It's, you know, I could go into details, but that's embarrassing as fuck. Like, don't nobody wants to go through that, especially touching on a little kid when there's plenty of people out here that are just do it just because. What do a child have? Like, how are you so sick in your mind to do that? It just disgusts me.
I'm sorry that you had to experience those things. And like I said, there's so many of us, so many females out here, and men, but there's so many females out here that have experienced these situations, and most of the situations are at the hands of their own family members.
Yeah.
Their own family members are out here touching them inappropriate. We saw, let me see if I still have it. We saw Naziah's uncle. Now, this is Naziah's great uncle. Where do they do that at? And this is Naziah's great uncle touching her.
They all, if you ask me, they all was touching her. They all felt it. They all touched her before.
You have all these creeps. You know, you got him. You got the evangelist. You know, you got Jarvis. You got Jarvis. Jarvis was touched.
But why did they give him no help? That don't make it no better.
You got these two possibly touched, or at least one. back to the great uncle that y'all see grabbing her from behind. It's sad when you can't even trust your own family.
And see, me actually, I don't let my kids go nowhere. They don't go nowhere. If you see me, you know them four coming right behind me. Not behind me, they in front of me, because of course I got to keep my eye on them. They not even behind me. You can hear the baby in the background now. What you see is what you get. At least I know ain't nobody touching my children like they did me. They good. And that's just how it is.
Any last words before you get out of here, Queen Email?
My last words is protect them kids out here. It's not about y'all. Remember this, because y'all had plenty of opportunities to get abortion. I mean, I don't condone it, but protect your kids. You owe them that. Y'all owe them that. And go subscribe to my page. Y'all owe them kids that. And that's all.
Appreciate you for coming up, Queen Email, and sharing your story with us. Salute. Make sure we subscribe to Queen Email. I do have a lot of guests that would like to join me on the panel. So time is short, but you are welcome to come up and share your story with us. And make sure everybody subscribes to Queen Email channel.
And the next time that you see Jarvis Butts after January 9th, 2024, do you see any injuries on him?
No, I don't believe I've seen it.
Really further, Judge.
Okay, Ross? Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Ray.
Good morning.
You said that, I believe, in your testimony that you have known Mr. Butts since about 2018, is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. You said you met at Frank's, the shop that you lived at.
That's correct.
And you said you guys worked together at Frank's for about 2 years,
That's correct.
and so that means in about 2020, you opened up the shop on Connor, is that?
No, in 2021, I went to prison.
Okay.
So that's why we didn't work together for that period of time.
And
But
so you came back
I came back and we went back to the same thing.
at Frank's,
Yes,
and then what year was that?
that was 2023.
Okay, and so then how long after you came back were you, the two of you at Frank's together?
Maybe a few months to maybe like the middle of the year. So maybe around either June. It was before summer, so maybe around April. It was still a little cold outside.
Now, I want y'all to, for those that haven't been following the case too tough, this is King. And remember, I have King down the rabbit hole. So this is King. Now, King is of Middle Eastern, Hispanic, or Latino descent. He has the shops that they all are working for. All right. Now I'm gonna bring up my new guest, Rizze, and I dropped Queen Email's link in the chat. Let me drop Queen Email's link again for everybody to subscribe. That's Queen Email's link. So let me bring up my next guest to share with us her story. Salute, Rizzy.
Thank you so much for having me. It's pronounced Rizzy, but yes.
Okay. I'm sorry.
No, you're okay. You're okay. So, my story starts way back from when I was in, I would say between both elementary school and middle school. I would say mainly starting in middle school. I'm now 27. I will be 28 in July. I was in and of course, you guys would, hopefully everyone knows what I mean when I say immed, because we can't say certain specific words on YouTube. However, I
And,
was immed by multiple people, specifically 3 men. 2 were
and
my
Rizzy,
uncles, and 1 were my, yes, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I got to make a correction. I'm sorry, everybody. Frank, not King. I got so much going on. People sending me stuff.
Yeah.
I got so much going on. This is Frank. This is Frank, not King. I'm sorry, everybody. This is Frank, not King. Okay, come on, Rizzy. I'm sorry.
Yes. But no, thank you so much. I was saying the same thing as well before I had jumped on here, but yeah, so I was the end began around the time that I was in middle school. As I was saying, I'm now 27. I'll be 28 in July. I was emmed by one of my siblings' father and 2 of my quote unquote uncles. So as far as the one, which let me start with my one of my siblings' fathers. So with him, he was way too comfortable with having conversations about sex with me. Oh gosh, was I not supposed to say that?
Now you good. You good. You good. You good.
Oh, okay, okay. So conversations about me having intercourse with guys. I am God's honest truth. I'm a virgin till this day. I will be saving it until marriage. I was no long. My focus was always on studies, and my mother did not play with me. But I am still a nerd till this day as well. But yeah. So he was way too comfortable with having sex talks with me. Way too comfortable with me with showing condoms to me. What else? He exposed himself to me, and thank God it was dark because I could not see. And we were not only that, we were far away. He would compliment me on my breast and butt, specifically my breast. Uh, I mean, it was a whole mix of things, but yeah, it's just very awkward. Certain things were just way too comfortable. I mean, with things that he was doing and saying to me, it was just like, I'm not grown, I'm not a fast ass, and I'm not your girlfriend. I am your child's sibling, one of your child's siblings. Okay, now let's move to the next bastard. He was supposed to be my godfather. He was always asking me for naked pictures. That was really the main thing with him, always asking for me for naked pictures. He would say things to me too about my body, just like one of my siblings' fathers, saying how huge my breasts are, like saying stuff about what I'm wearing, specifically my clothes. Uh, Basically, he brainwashed the hell out of me thinking that I was his girlfriend. It was so hard, and that's another reason why this case hit me crazy, because just like Naziah thought that Jarvis was her boyfriend, I thought that my godfather was my boyfriend. So when you talk about brainwash, oh hell yeah, brainwash can go a very long way, because yes, I until this day I'm getting mental help. Um, but it's still like, but it's just weird. Like he was the first person who had spoken to me that in that way. So it was like very confusing, but at the end of the day, he was wrong for saying what he said to me and asking me for naked pictures. He was wrong for all of that. The third one, which is the last one, he was my uncle, my father's brother. Distant uncle, distant as hell. He was asking me for naked pictures a lot. He would try to meet with me a lot. He would want to do sexual favors with me. He exposed me as well. He sent me a few pictures of his private parts. It was just very sickening. But yes, that was it with him. And there was also this one time where he tried to kiss me. And I snatched away and kept pushing him off like, the hell you doing? We're just standing talking. And I'm pushing him away like, I'm not into you like that. I mean, no disrespect, but hey, if you want to date older, date older. If you want to date younger. But as far as a minor, you don't do that stuff with minors. If you are interested in either dating younger or older, that person needs to be at least 21. I mean, getting like your wee wee. Let me say that because I almost said the wrong word. But your wee wee shouldn't get hard for a 13-year-old or a 15-year-old because yes, all of this occurred between. Oh my God! Between the ages of 11 and 17, I had no break at all. Between these three bastards, I had absolutely no break. And yes, your wee wee shouldn't get hard for someone who's that young. And same thing with women. Your JJ shouldn't get moist for someone who is that age either. Because just like there's men pedophiles out there, there's women pedophiles out there as well. One of my best friends was emmed by I believe 2 females. So yeah, but as far as these three bastards, yes, between the ages of 11 and 17, I had went through hell. And it was already drastic enough being raised in a specific household where you're the golden child and you have all of these responsibilities that weren't brought onto you, that wasn't fair to you because you were still a child. It was heartbreaking. But at the same time, I easily moved past that. My solution to that was, okay, move out, buy yourself a house, and be on your own. I am doing excellent. I bought my house at 22 years old. Shortly after I turned 22, not long after I turned 21, I had bought my first property. But damn, with this molestation stuff, like what the... I can get over so much except for this. Like, I don't see how people can just think that being with someone who's a minor is okay. I don't understand, and I will never understand. But it's just sickening. It's sickening to me. It's sickening to the lady who was just on the panel. I hats off to you. I totally respect you, and you are very beautiful, queen. But as far as like, oh my gosh, like kids, I don't know. I don't know. All I have to say is, if you're going through something similar to us who have been emmed, even if it's only by one person, it's still traumatizing. Just know that, all you have to do is get help. Will it be easy? No, it will not be easy. It will take you a while to know that you need help. It will take you a while to try to get help. And it will take you a while to be better after getting helped. But at the end of the day, by the Most High, I will tell you that you will be better. You will get better eventually, because the Most High has your back at all costs when nobody else has. And, and as far as kids, I don't care whether it's your kids, your nephews, nieces, cousins, whatever, protect all of these kids. I mean, I don't know what happened with us in the Black community, but we have to stop being selfish. We have to start getting back to unity. And that's all that it is. If you see something that's off, if you don't confront that person, then tell the parent and be like, hey, I saw this, this, and that, and I don't think that it was appropriate. Dude, that something is better than nothing. But for y'all who are just like not saying anything, letting these people free really and thinking y'all could trust this person, that person around y'all kids, y'all have me all the way effed up. And I'll never have respect for anybody like that who put their trust in just any and everybody. I don't care whether you're a male or a female. You ought to not be trusted because you're just as bad as these pedophiles. You're just as bad because you're not saying anything. And that's really all that I have to say about that situation. If you have, any questions that you would like to ask me, I really don't mind. But that's really all that I have to say. We just need to get back to unity, and that's really it. We need to start supporting each other way more than we should. Supporting each other physically, mentally, and financially.
Somebody in the comment asked, did you tell your mother, or why didn't you tell your mother?
Yes, I told her. I didn't have enough courage to tell her until I was 21 years old, unfortunately. Yes, she was upset at me for holding it in that long. But she is aware and she is disgusted. She was disgusted at 3 of them, and she stays distant from them. But yes, I didn't have the courage until I got out of my abusive relationship with my ex-boyfriend, who I had to take to court to get a restraining order on. That was the only benefit of, it's very sad to say this, but that was the only benefit of being in an abusive relationship, was me finally having courage to stand up to a man. But yes, when I turned 21, she became aware.
It used to be a time when it was a beautiful thing to be in a relationship. It used to be a time when relationships, you still had your problems. Relationships still had their problems. But it was a time when everybody wanted to be loved by somebody.
Yeah.
Nowadays, people don't even want to be in relationships no more. It used to be a time when you could trust family. Family, you ran into a family here or there, with pedophile, but it was a time when you could trust family members. But
Yeah.
it seems like nowadays you can't. And
Yeah, exactly. And that's the mistake that, I love my mother, but that's the mistake that she made with me. Like I told her, I said, you should have never put your trust into those people. You tell me all the time, don't trust anyone. But as far as specifically one of my siblings' fathers, him alone, like I don't care how long y'all been together before y'all broke up. Nah, that's not your child. Stay the hell away from her. Period. That's why I don't believe in that whole stepmom, stepdad stuff. No, if the if the mom has her own kids and the dad has his own kids, all right, fine. But still still look out. Because I mean, there's even people out here who are they're touching on their own children, and although it's rare, still be cautious. But them step parents, they don't give a damn about your child.
nope.
Let's be honest, they just want some ass. Let's just be honest.
Yep. Call a spade a spade.
Yeah, as
And
long as they can get it, they'll do whatever to get it.
And let me say this also. We don't know what the next person is going through. We have to have more compassion for other folks and the things that they are going through. However, I don't mean to be a fool to nobody, because people will play on things like that. I'm gonna just tell them this. I'm gonna just tell them that. You know, I'm a lie about what I'm going through. I'm a lie about my situation. So we gotta be careful, but we first have to have a little more compassion for one another, because you don't know what the next person has been through. You don't know what Shank Rock been through unless Shank Rock opens up to you. And you got to give Shank Rock time to open up. I'm just using me as an example for everybody. You got to give people time, and you got to have compassion. You got to have compassion for people. And I'm not giving the ladies a pass. I'm not going to give the ladies a pass. I have to call a spade a spade. There are some funky ass hoes out here. Let me just put that in this proper perspective. There are some funky ass hoes out here. Now, can you have compassion? Can you understand a funky hoe? Do you have compassion for a funky hoe? No, because a hoe is a hoe. And some women, some ladies choose to be hoes. I'm not talking about the funky ass hoes. So if you a funky ass hoe and you watching this and you think we gonna have some sympathy for your funky ass, hell no. Let me put that in this proper perspective. I gotta call a spade, y'all. And I gotta keep it real.
Yeah.
However, for the women, for the girls, for the females that have experienced this kind of trauma, we have to have compassion for these kind of females. Come in, Rizzy, and then I'm gonna let Queen Email you come in after Rizzy. Come back in, Rizzy.
Okay. Can you guys hear me? I don't think that I left out.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Oh, okay. Well, that's basically all that I have to say. But yes, thank you so much for having me up on here. And again, everyone, if you have experienced something like this, just, please get help. Like I said, it's going to be a process in getting help. However, you have the strength to get help. And again, Black community, we really have to do better all the way across the board. Thank you.
You're welcome. Appreciate you for pulling up. Talk to me, Email. I'm sorry, Rizzy. I'm sorry.
So you said something about funky hoes, and I'm getting where you going at. So earlier I was just doing something about, normalizing not having, different men around your kids. Like, it's okay to miss out on a club. It's okay to miss out on a job. It's okay to miss out on a lot of things. At least your kid is safe. Like, it could be family-wise too. Like me, I'm from Baltimore. I stay 8 hours away. It's just me and my kids, So it's like my father stay up here too. But it's like he it is what it is. This my father right here. He do YouTube. And he always tell me, if you ain't nothing, be a good parent to my grandkids. And you feel me? And I get days where I call him and I cry and this, and that, and the third. But back on subject, at least different men is not around my children. Different men. Like, it just, the traumatized I went through as a kid and adult, I'm still reliving this every day. Like, it's times where I have to go in the shower and cry in the shower, or I have mental breakdowns and call, a family member, and they just don't understand what I'm saying, because I'm like, why would they do that to me? Why would they do that to me? And then I finding myself stuck in this place every time, and it terrified me because I had to go through that. So, man, I'm telling you, me and my kids, we fuss and fight like we best friends and stuff, because what you see is what you get. My kids, no one, I'm just saying kids in general, everybody, legalizing our kids and other people's kids too, being around different men. I don't give a fuck if it's a family member or not. You don't see my kids around. No kid of mine say a family member done fucking raised them, sat at the damn house with them, no nothing. I'm always with my kids. I do DoorDash. My kids is with me too because I went through that trauma. And when I finally came out to tell people, nobody fucking believed me.
Watch the F words. You good though?
Sorry.
Watch the F words.
Sorry. But yeah, no one believed me. So it's like I walk around with this, like my face is naturally mean, but it's like the attitude go with it. And I don't do it on purpose. It's just I gotta have my guard up. It's just I don't know. I can't have no men around my kids. It's just not even one. Every day is just me and my children because at least I know I got 4 of them. In the blink of an eye, you know, somebody can go this way, somebody could be gone. They're growing up. My kids is in middle school now. You never know what's going on when you're not around. So you will have to get that bond with your child. Get in that bond with your child. It don't matter if you don't want to hear it, it's too gross or whatever. Get that bond with your child. And I'm not saying be their best friend. I'm saying get them to trust you. Because you know they're going to be at school. They're going to be anywhere you never freaking know. And you can't keep an eye on them all this time for them. You know, something's going to happen. I'm just saying, if it got to be a way where men around your children, even the women do stuff to kids too. Just get that bond with your child where they trust you enough to, if something happened, they can tell you. And that's all I got to say.
That's facts. Before you come in, Miss Parker, let me clear the air before I let Miss Parker come in. And Miss Parker, for Miss Parker's riders, Miss Parker will be going live at 1. She will be going live at 1 a.m. in another hour and a half. But let me clear it up before I let Miss Parker slide in. Let me give you all some examples of a funky ass hole. Now, these two are funky ass holes. Those two right there are funky ass holes. And I'm going to tell you why these two are funky ass holes. Because they allowed what happened to Naziah. These two funky ass holes allowed it. Now, we would have had all the compassion in the world for Miss Annette because allegedly Miss Annette was touched when she was 11 years old. My heart goes out to her for that. I don't want to be cold when I don't have to be cold. But as an 11-year-old child, my heart goes out to Annette as an 11-year-old child because an 11-year-old child shouldn't have had to experience what Miss Annette experienced at 11 years old. Now, fast forward, and they say hurt people, but there are those that were hurt that don't hurt people. But the saying is correct. Hurt people do hurt people. But then those are those people that were hurt that don't hurt people. So it's not an excuse for Miss Annette because she was hurt at 11 years old. Miss Annette is a funky ass hoe because she did not protect Naziah Hers. Shannon is a funky ass hoe. Shannon did not protect Naziah Hers. Shannon, now it's one thing for you to lay down with a Jarvis Butts. That's your own prerogative. Do what you do. But for Shannon, you allowed Jarvis to come around not only your children, but you allowed Jarvis to come around your niece, Naziah Hers. You knew that Naziah and Jarvis was having sexual relations, but you took your anger out on Naziah Hers, a 12, 13-year-old kid. So you shouldn't have allowed that. And to all of the Shannons, I'm not talking to y'all. I'm talking to, the Shannon I'm talking about. But That's what you call a funky ass hoe. You know, now there's all kind of funky ass hoes, but those two right there, those are what I'm speaking on as far as not having compassion for. Those two funky ass hoes, because they allowed it. See, Shannon is a funky ass hoe because funky ass hoes will sleep with anybody. Funky ass hoes will sleep with anybody. A hoe is going to be careful with who she sleep with, but a funky ass hoe is going to sleep with anybody. And that's what Shannon done. That's what she done. She slept with Jarvis. There are hoes wouldn't slept with Jarvis. I know some hoes that would have passed up on Jarvis. So they don't get the title funky ass hoes. But Shannon and Miss Annette is those kind of funky ass hoes that we don't show no kind of compassion for because they fail 11, 12, 13-year-old girl along with other children. Come on in, Miss Parker.
So I don't know where to start with that one. So, shit. I was in rehab, so for a long time, and we have to share stories like this about trauma. And I don't want women to think that I don't get their side of the trauma too, for the most part. And it's trickled down because there wasn't any help. There was just generational. Because it's kept in the house, it's kept such a secret. And she turned out to be a HOE. So all hoes, you know what I'm saying? I get it, but her behaviors trickle down to her having children by her children, her uncles, and stuff like that. And she didn't understand why she was the monster that she was. And she became a prostitute and everything, but she didn't understand why she touched her son. She had to share this with strangers. So it goes to say that she didn't get the proper help that she needed. And it wasn't even a year after that she took her life. And sometimes those generational curses traumatize everybody in their own different ways. R. Kelly. We can dislike R. Kelly, but the fact was he got touched. The fact was that Shannon and them was not just predators to Naziah, they was predators to other cousins. So that's where I wanted to get to the bottom of who touched them. Because somebody touched Shannon. Somebody touched Marquita. We know that the evangelist took advantage of Florentino. So it's been around predators, and we gotta know. I want to get to the gist of. That's why there was a psychologist that kind of hit me up on one of my comments, and I gotta find it because she wrote some books and said she wanted to talk to me, and I want her to come up and have a conversation of mental illness, but yet a predatory generational curse. And how does it keep being able to take effect, and how do we stop it? Because locking Jarvis up doesn't stop the generational curse. Because their monsters are still out there. We got Shannon. You think her taste for children stop? And others. We got Florentino. Do you think his taste for children stops if he ever had any situation? It's alleged, but did he have a situation? The kids. How old are some of the kids, and have they had generational trauma? Because don't forget, Marquita's boyfriend did state that her son had a couple of situations. Do we know those situations? No. Would we like to know those situations? Yeah. And with who? Because that's a whole nother generational curse starting. whoever he touched inappropriate. Is he contained with his mental? Is he getting the proper help? Just because somebody got custody of him doesn't mean he's getting the proper help for his illness. To stop. With the other little kids, you know what I'm saying? We're in the foster kids. I'm going to talk about one of them tonight. Does the generational curse stop? Because there's so many involved, there's some we don't even know yet. And again, how long has this been going on with everybody? Because this is just a group of people being touched, touching other people, touching other people, touching other people. So when you say the funky ass hoes, you know, and I get where you coming from wholeheartedly, but it has to be taken serious too. Because this is something that's really stemming in not only that, but incest. It's a lot of incestual pedophilia going on. Kids being brought into this world from incestual pedophilia. More kids are being made. So we having cousin generations of family. Now, not just of them touching. This is family being born into family, Kids, Shane. There's cousins, brothers, sisters, uncles. So they know, you know, I take this one serious.
Wait a minute.
About
Wait a
the
minute. I'm her. You got to turn your TV or your radio off. I'm her. Go ahead, Miss Parker.
Okay, I'm sorry. Hold on.
Go ahead, Miss Parker.
So that's why I take it serious. The touching, because this case is bigger than just Annette and Shannon. This case goes as far as the kids, and like I said, the adopted kids. The kids of their generation, who have they went out and touched? For Marquita's son to have two cases, and he's young. He's young. He's not 20, 18, 17. He's young. Already having inappropriate things going on with himself, Shane. But we got to look at the person again he's touched. Will they touch anybody? Who is Jarvis's other kids that they been predatory lives? So this is a lot that's going on that has to be. This is a case where, that's why I said this is a big case. We got Uncle Daddy that nobody wants to talk about, who the evangelist said would come in there drunk and act real erratic and have relations with little boys. What boys? Because a 3-tier, hey, they'll touch anything and be aggressive at it. And my thing is, with him having that charge, how the one woman came up on your panel and was like, yeah, it's all lies and all of that. As women, we get to the facts first. And the thing about that, Shane, they got to have factual information to lock a person up and put that on them. And a 3-tier is kids underage. It's not even the woman. It's underage. That's why she said, "Oh yes, that did look funny with him and Naziah. It was very inappropriate. Period. Without us knowing his charges, it was inappropriate because we wasn't even allowed to sit on laps. Our fathers, our cousins, our uncles. This is in a bedroom. It's a bed. That's not a couch in the open where everybody is. That's a bed." Predators protect their prey. When they said he was protecting of the kids, I bet he was. They protect their prey.
Yes, they do.
Didn't Jarvis protect his? Didn't Jarvis protect his?
How about that, Miss Parker?
But when people lie and they are so defensive, it makes me say, who touched you? Because I got 2 sons, but there's no way I'm protecting my sons being monsters at all, ever. So, it's a lot to look at. And, we got people in the chat that's been touched and touched by family members. I'm doing a story now on Naziah. Kibby had 5 children, 6 by her father. With her mother knowing. Her mother told her she can't compete with her because she's young. So this woman's fighting to stop the generational curses of her children. Having to bring those children in the world and raise them as your kids, and they're your siblings as well, is mind-blowing. So I want everybody to take a minute out when Shank say these horrors and they laugh about it. It's really a sick, sad situation, but it's a deep situation too. And I question those that laugh about it. I do. I laugh about. Because one thing I got is 5 kids. And I say to myself, Shank, all the time, am I in a place where my kids are even willing to talk to me and tell me their traumas? Because I wasn't always there as a good mother to my children. But I see women that's 60, 70, and 80 years old finally telling a story. Parents gone. Most of their siblings gone. The guilt, the weight of the world on their shoulders from holding this deep, dark secret. So I take this serious. I don't play about it. Hey, I'm her. Welcome.
Thank you. I just wanted to tell my story.
Appreciate that super sticker, Nola. Appreciate that super sticker, Nola. Go ahead. I'm her. Go ahead.
I'm 51. I was molested by 7 family members and never got help. It destroyed my life. It destroyed my relationship with my kids. I have stage 4 bone cancer, and I don't know how to get my life back with them. My father was a sexual predator. He died. Just I don't know how to deal with this. Oh,
Take your time.
just
Take your time. Take your time.
I kept my kids to myself. I never let them go stay overnight anywhere. My grandkids, nothing, because what happened to me. And then it came out my granddaughter was molested. And I want to stop the cycle of my family. But there's more and more monsters that are coming out. And I've never told my story to anybody. So because I was afraid people would look at me, like, I don't know. I don't know where to go.
You in the right place, love. And this is a part of our healing because I've been traumatized too. I'm hurt and I felt guilt like you, embarrassment. But you don't have to be embarrassed because you did nothing wrong.
For a long time, I stuffed it. I felt like it was my fault. My mom never knew until I wrote her a big letter and told her about everything that had happened. And it was all on my father's side of the family. And when he passed away a couple years ago, I felt mad because he didn't, I didn't get him to face up to what he did to me. But then I was glad because he couldn't hurt nobody no more. but it destroyed the relationship I had with my kids because it, it made me go to drugs because I could not deal with anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm. I'm hurt. Are you willing to talk to somebody if I can set something up?
yes, because
Okay.
this is destroying me. I'm telling you, I have stuffed so much inside, and I can't stuff no more.
Mm-hmm.
And then, the more that I see about the cases going on with Shannon and everybody, and then it's bringing more and more demons out, and I can't. It makes me want to, oh, I wish we could just blow all them monsters up.
Yeah.
But, like I said, I have stage 4 bone cancer, and just I destroyed the relationship I had with my kids because I wasn't there for them. And I, if anything in my life, I want to be able to help somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was afraid to tell somebody, 7 family members. They look at me like I'm a freak, but I'm not. I was an innocent baby, a child.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you
And
for
that,
listening.
and I'm her. Don't think this is if this is your safe place, this is your safe place. You know what I'm saying? Um, mm, I got somebody that I'm gonna reach out to because one thing about it, I got some riders, some sisters that are beautiful souls, and man, they're counselors, they're psychologists, they got so much they can help you with, and that's between y'all conversations. Once you get to that healing process of talking and stuff, and I always tell y'all, utilize y'all stories to continue to help somebody else because these stories, these cases have brought out a lot of emotions and a lot of people with
That's what
trauma,
I put in the
even
comment section.
men.
Exactly. It's bringing so many emotions out with everybody. And
And when I had that brother come in my chat, a man, tell me thank me for creating a safe place as well. And he told me his story. He told us, it broke me down because you think that somebody else's your trauma is, and when you hear another story, it's like wow, like but because of good people around that create safe spaces like Shank got for y'all, you rock with Shank, so
thank you for listening.
you know it's a because everybody got their own spaces they go, but this Shank has created a space for you and Rizzy to come up here and tell y'all stories and have that safe place. Because I can't judge nobody. That's why I don't judge nobody. I'm tired of judging and not knowing I'm only deflecting my feelings on somebody else. You get what I'm saying? And I don't want nobody to feel like you and Rizzy to feel like I would ever judge y'all and look at y'all and try to help y'all at the same time and be hypocritical. You get what I'm saying?
That's what I didn't want nobody to think bad about me. That's what I had never told anybody. I mean, my husband heard it, but but just being able to get it out is like a big relief. You know, they don't understand what they do to people, to the victims. They destroy their lives. And my biggest thing is when I keep saying that the laws need to be changed, they don't understand. They're like I just said, it's destroying everybody's life, the victims' lives completely. Because I cannot. I mean, I'm afraid to go out of my house, basically.
Mm. And we don't think how we, even with mine, I never thought in the future how much it would ruin relationships and how that trauma would steal certain touches and You get what I'm saying? Like just certain things that you thought you overcame, and people think you can't get married, and oh, she got married, she has kids. That doesn't mean I don't got trauma, and I didn't
No,
have trauma. So
I
I always remember it's not your fault. It's not your fault. And this is a step, believe it or not, I'm her. This is a step in healing.
Appreciate that super sticker, Wendy. Appreciate that
oh
super
my
sticker,
God, thank you
Wendy.
guys for listening. But yes,
So I'm gonna
please, anything that can help me, I'm willing for anything because
let me drop my email in the chat. If you could catch this
I
email,
was to
Shank.
the point where I was wanting to check out. To be honest, I was wanting to check out.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
But thank you guys so much for letting me tell because
I'm her. Shank, pin my email for her to write it down so I can connect to one of my riders and stuff. And whatever y'all talk about, I'm her. That's y'all conversation. And I would love to hear once you talk to her, like just kind of come back with a story and let it be tears of healing. You know, I want to hear tears of just a
positive,
little bit of healing
yes.
and process. And I'm gonna be right there every step of the way with you through
Thank
this. You
you,
hear me? I'm not gonna
thank you,
leave you.
thank you, Shank. Thank
Hmm.
you for letting me tell my story.
You welcome. I'm her anytime.
Thank
Marty,
you
Yeah.
so
Marty,
much.
Marty, Marty says, please seek help so you can take
I
control
am
back over your life.
because this has destroyed me. I mean, but thank you guys so much.
And that's Miss Parker's email.
All right,
Let me
I'm
let
learning how.
Rizzy. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm her.
No, I'm learning how to do all this on my phone. I'm like retarded on my phone.
Girl, I still be learning. You hear me? Crazy work.
Let
Crazy
me
work.
let Rizzy slide back in. Slide in, Rizzy.
Hey, real quick, I won't take up you guys' time as much. I just want to say something real quick about this situation to her. I'm very sorry about that. And that just made me think about something that I was working on before I moved, but well, kind of like between me moving and me moving, like between that time where I was going to create not a safe space, but just like give out information for to people who specifically in our community who needs help and who need help, and they don't know how to get it or where to get it. So what I plan on doing is I plan on creating a website for everyone, whether you're a male or female. If you have experienced trauma, if you have PTSD, depression, bipolar disorder, whatever is going on, counseling, whatever, something with your kids, whatever, I'm going to go through state for state, go by state to state and research some therapists and so on for the sake of us, because we surely need it. And
Yeah,
the
I'm in
sooner
Florida.
we can get help, the better. So yes, I am going to get get in touch. I'm going to do a lot of research and like I said, go state to state and look up some people and create something. And then once I'm done, I will provide it to everybody, because yes,
Thank
we definitely need this.
We do.
Yes. But that's all that I want to say. Once I am done, because I can actually work on that at one of my jobs. But once I'm done, I can provide that to Shank Rock, provide it to people in the community out here where I moved. I'm originally from the Philly area, but like I said, I'm doing state to state, because it whether you want to do virtual or in person. I know that nowadays everybody want to be high class with virtual, but yes, or even if it's just like for your with your easier with your work schedule by doing virtual. But yes, I will aim to do that as soon as possible, and then once I am done, I will let Mr. Shankrock know, and Miss Parker know, her of course as well. Yes, I'll keep in touch with you guys.
All right,
Thank
thank
you,
you.
Lizzie.
That's right.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, not a problem.
All right. Let me let the good brother Volvo Rank slide in. Salute, brother. Haven't seen you in a minute. Talk to me.
Yeah, it's been a minute, brother. How you been doing?
I'm doing good. Glad to see you.
Yeah, man. Good to see you as well. Yeah, this is about Shannon, right? Shannon
Yeah.
Sharp, right? Yeah.
No. This ain't
Oh.
about shit.
Yeah. I ain't know what it was about. Yeah, I want to make
It's
sure.
all good. Have you been following the Naziah Harris case?
No. See, yeah, no.
Well, being as though that you're up here, I'll go ahead and let you speak your piece about Shannon Sharp. You can speak your piece about Shannon Sharp.
Oh yeah, I don't want to take away from the space, but Shannon just. I'm gonna make it quick. Shannon got played like a trick, and that's what it is. So I leave that right there. I didn't know nothing about nobody else. That's just been the hot topic lately is Shannon Sharp, and we've been discussing that on a lot of other spaces. So that's just what I thought it was about. I apologize though.
No, you good, bro. You good.
Shannon needs to be shot with a shit gun.
He played himself like Shannon. I mean, and I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. Usually I will give a person the benefit of the doubt. He played himself.
They're gonna bust hell wide open, all of them.
Well, it's just life lessons, really. Like, he ain't too old to learn some life lessons. You know what I mean? Like, he should have never been dealing with somebody like that, period. At his advanced age.
No. He was older. She knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing.
He got her off of fans only.
Right.
And I don't know if any of y'all remember Backpage back in the days. That's all fans only.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He basically dealing with a prostitute.
That's it.
But she said that he told her what he was charged with. So she invited him in.
That's what she's supposed to do at the end of the day. She's trying to get some money off him. This is a rich man.
No. Now that right there, no. He told her that he was a sex predator, and she invited him into her family. That's not what she was supposed to do.
Shannon ain't no sex predator. He ain't got no reason to be. He can pay for whatever.
He was.
She was.
He was.
Yeah, Shannon Sharp.
If you pay attention, it said where she said that he told her that.
She said that?
No, she said that Jarvis told her what he was convicted of before, when they first got together.
Oh no, I think we talking about something else.
Okay.
Hey, Bob, I'm just. Yeah.
My bad, brother. I didn't mean to. Yeah.
No. I'm sorry. I was.
No, you good. Yeah, because
I was about to go to the field.
I was getting confused a little bit. I was like, Shannon, what? And then
she knew, and she invited him into her family when they first met, Shannon and Jarvis. And they said that he told her what he was charged with.
Yeah, and that's why for me, that's why I used the funky, about Shannon, because you knew, like I said, there are hoes, and I gotta use these words to make my point. There are hoes that wouldn't have opened up their legs to Jarvis. That's a no-no.
And didn't they say they were all staying in the same house? So he was sleeping with the grandmother.
Yeah, you got what on your report card? That's the first thing. You got what on your report? No, I can't fool with you. It's certain kind of people that men don't deal with. It's certain kind of people that women don't deal with.
And for Shannon to keep him there, she fed that baby to him.
She literally fed him.
Now, what about, like I said, I'm slow because I go to my treatments for my cancer and everything. Did they ever do a DNA test on that baby that she supposedly had?
To my knowledge, no. To my knowledge, no. Oh boy, I gotta shout out Oh Boy. Oh Boy is another content creator as well. Oh boy, if anybody is looking for some spiritual upliftment on Sundays, if you all are looking for some gospel music, make sure y'all subscribe to Oh Boy. Oh Boy always gets Sundays going with his spiritual growth in his gospel music. And y'all know Miss Parker. Make sure y'all subscribe to Miss Parker. I love Miss Parker. Yeah, I don't think I see no other content creators down.
From what I was told, didn't supposedly Shannon have a baby like 2 days after all this happened?
See, it's all, well, I'm not gonna say all. A lot of the information that's out there, we don't know it to be facts or not.
Right.
So I don't know. Yeah, he's saying tomorrow at 3 p.m. So if y'all into gospel music, if y'all want church, in other words, if y'all want online church, pull up on Oh Boy tomorrow at 3 p.m. I got another content creator. I'm gonna shout you out, even though.
Thank you, Shane, for letting me tell my story.
You're welcome. I appreciate you for coming up. I'm her.
Right.
All right. And I'm gonna shout you out better at Taz, but normally I don't shout out those that this day first time pulling up. But y'all can subscribe to the better Taz as well. I was going to go longer, but Miss Parker got her live set up at 1. So make sure everybody pull up at 1. I'm gonna show a little bit more of King's interview, and then I'm gonna let everybody get out of here. Let's go to King's interview.
Okay. So early spring of 2023 is when you said that you think that you opened up the shop at 9.
Yes, it could have been earlier than that, but yes, roundabout.
And so you became business partners?
Yes.
Did you get the business partner?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The beginning of 2024, maybe 3, were you seeing a woman in Clinton Township?
A woman in Clinton Township?
Yes. A friend of a woman named Shannon Harris?
In 24?
Yes.
No.
Or ever?
Yes.
When were you seeing her?
This probably was 2000 and maybe 19 or 20.
So before you went?
Before I went to prison.
Okay. Did you and Mr. Butts ever have a falling out about that?
No.
I gotta backtrack, y'all. I think I missed something. Let me backtrack this.
It could have been earlier than that, but yes, roundabout.
And so you became business partners?
Yes.
Did you get the business partners?
Yes.
Okay. You also consider Mr. Butts a friend at that point?
Yes.
As far as the business arrangement, you said it was a 50-50 split. Did you split it every day at the end of the day? Or?
Every day at the end of the day.
Okay. Now back around the beginning of 2024, maybe the end of 2023, were you seeing a woman in Clinton Township?
A woman in Clinton Township?
Yes. A friend of a woman named Shannon Harris?
In 24?
Yes.
No.
Or ever?
Yes.
When were you seeing her?
It probably was 2000 and maybe 19 or 20.
So before you went?
Before I went to prison.
Okay. Did you and Mr. Butts ever have a falling out about that?
No.
Did I miss something? I don't think I missed it, but King and Shannon was seeing each other. Did y'all catch that? Did King was King and let me backtrack, cause Miss Parker, you knew this? Y'all knew this about King? Okay, Marianne says Jarvis said that the baby was King baby. I didn't catch this before.
Still a little cold outside.
Okay. So like early spring.
Miss Parker says you're late. Yeah, I'm late as hell. This went over my head. I thought they said Shannon friend. Yes, they shared. Me either. This is definitely new. What I say, y'all. What I say. Even Shank Rock misses things. That's why I always like to backtrack. Because even Shank Rock misses some things. Wow. Top Flight says Shank, stop stuttering. Let me run it back, y'all.
Of 2023 is when you said that you think that you opened up the shop at 9 o'clock?
Yes, it could have been earlier than that, but yes, around.
Okay. And so you became business partners?
Yes.
Did you become business partners?
Yes.
Okay. You also consider Mr. Butts a friend at that point?
Yes.
As far as the business arrangement, you said it was a 50-50 split. Did you split it every day at the end of the day? Or?
Every day at the end of the day.
Now back around the beginning of 2024, maybe the end of 2023, were you seeing a woman in Clinton Township?
A woman in Clinton Township?
Yes. A friend of a woman named Shannon Harris?
In 24?
Yes.
No.
Or ever?
Yes.
When were you seeing her?
It probably was 2000 and maybe 19 or 20.
And I'm going to let it play. But according to King, in 2019 or 2020, him and Shannon was in sexual relations. Wow.
So before you went?
Before I went to prison.
Okay. Did you and Mr. Butts ever have a falling out about that?
No.
It had to be King and Shannon, because why would she ask him, did you and Mr. Butts ever have any falling out about that? Wow. Let's eat, y'all. Let's eat, Rock Squad. Shannon and King. Wow.
Now you and Mr. Butts, did you talk about your personal lives?
Sometimes, yes.
You spent good days at work together, right?
Right.
So presumably it came up.
Of course.
Talk about girlfriends.
Of course.
Did women often come to the shop looking for Mr. Butts?
Sporadically.
Did he talk to you about the various women that he would be seeing or juggling, maybe?
That happened.
And let me stop it, y'all. And that's why And that's why, in my opinion, King touched Naziah inappropriate as well. Just like y'all down there in the chat is saying, they were sharing everything. And that's why King did not condone it. That's why King didn't step to Jarvis about Naziah. A man is going to step to another man if that man is inappropriate touching a child, even if he, sexually aid a woman. He gonna step to that man, but definitely he stepped into a man that inappropriate touch a child. Won't you, old boy, and all the other men in the chat? We gonna step to any man that's inappropriate touching a child. That's why King never stepped to Jarvis. That's why he never stepped to Jarvis. And it's just my opinion. King was touching her as well. A little bit more, and then I'm gonna let y'all get out here. Make sure y'all pull up on Miss Parker at 1 a.m. Less than 30 minutes. A little bit more, and then we're gonna get out of here. See, this is why I like to backtrack stuff. I know people be like, damn, Shank, why you going back to that? We already went over that. This is why. Because every time we backtrack, we always find something that we miss. Blended Healing is another content creator. Blended Healing is like on that spiritual level as well. Make sure y'all subscribe to Blended Healing. If y'all are looking for some spiritual growth, make sure y'all check out Blended Healing. I see you, Blended Healing.
Okay. Did it sometimes cause trauma at the shop?
It happens.
When we come up and confront Mr. Butts,
It happens.
maybe about other women that he was seeing?
It happens.
Did you ever feel like that was affecting the business?
Not at Frank's.
What about at the business that you owned with Connor?
No, it didn't happen as much there.
Didn't happen as much in Connor?
Right.
Okay.
I'm going to rewind it, y'all. I'm going to rewind it, and y'all can hang around. Like I said, Miss Parker is going at 1. Make sure you all pull up on me tomorrow. I will rewind it, and I'll see everybody on tomorrow's demonstration. Let me rewind it for y'all.
Okay, and so then how long after you came back were you the two of you are friends together?
Maybe a few months to maybe like the middle of the year. So maybe around either June. It was before summer, so maybe around April. It was still a little cold outside.
Okay. So like early spring
Yeah.
Of 2023 is when you said that you think that you opened up the shop at 9.
Yes, it could have been earlier than that, but yes, around about.
And so you became business partners?
Yes.
Did you get the business partners?
Yes.
Okay. You also consider Mr. Butts a friend at that point?
Yes.
As far as the business arrangement, you said it was a 50-50 split. Did you split it every day at the end of the day? Or?
Every day at the end of the day.
Now back around the beginning of 2024, maybe the end of 2023, were you seeing a woman in Clinton Township?
A woman in Clinton Township?
Yes. A friend of a woman named Shannon Harris?
In 24?
Yes.
No.
Or ever?
Yes.
When were you seeing her?
This probably was 2000 and maybe 19 or 20.
So before you went?
Before I went to prison.
Okay. Did you and Mr. Butts ever have a falling out about that?
No.
in Wayne County, where Jarvis Butts, the man charged with sexually assaulting and killing 13-year-old Naziah Harris, was back in court today. Our Jordan Burroughs was inside the courtroom and joins us now with a recap of today's proceedings.
Today at the Wayne County Criminal Justice Center, Judge Nicholas Hathaway laid out dates in the Jarvis Butts case. Butts is accused of murdering 13-year-old Naziah Harris last year. His jury selection is scheduled to start October 6th. Jarvis Butts was in court Friday to hear Judge Nicholas Hathaway decide key dates in his trial. The defense and prosecution both agreed on the dates as they await the full transcript to be typed out so they can read it over. Butts was previously in court January 17th for a hearing where he entered a not guilty plea. At that hearing, just like Friday's, Naziah Harris's family and friends were present. Butts, 42 years old, of Detroit, is charged with first-degree premeditated murder, second-degree criminal sexual conduct, and child sexually abusive activity. Butts is also accused of having an inappropriate relationship with Naziah. She was last seen getting off her school bus at the corner of Cornwall and 3 Mile Drive in Detroit on January 9th of last year. Her body has not been found. As jury selection starts October 6th, the prosecution said it could call 40 or more witnesses to the stand, and the defense said it could call 10 or more. It's a trial that could take 3 to 4 weeks.
I'm hopeful that you're going to have that transcript here, hopefully within the next couple of weeks. Obviously, with that trial date being in October, we have some time to work with. But I'd like to see you all again for final conference.
Today's calendar conference also laid out another key date, which includes the last conference. That will be on Friday, June 20th. Reporting from the Wayne County Criminal Justice Center, Jordan Burroughs, CBS News, Detroit.